You did the thing. You actually did a mean interaction. Are you racked with guilt? Or are you feeling a little satisfied with how it played out? What if I told you that being a horrible person in Sims 4 might actually pay off? No, seriously, there is a whole nother world to explore with evil Sims. If you haven't tried it, why not? I'm a huge advocate for spicing up your typical gameplay by including evil Sims. In fact, if you want a jumping off point, I highly recommend checking out the videos I have linked down below. There's one on how to make a supervillain and a short about traits for an evil Sim. Alright, okay, maybe you're ready for an evil playthrough, or perhaps this is already part of your normal rotation, and now you're wondering how exactly the game rewards bad behavior. Does it even? Really? I do think there are benefits to evil gameplay and a couple of drawbacks. Let me explain. But first, do you enjoy being able to choose whether or not to be mean or good? Me too. That's why I've been really into playing Arc Raiders. I purchased it on a super sale from Instant Gaming and I haven't stopped playing since then. If you want to know what all the kerfluffle is about, head over to Instant Gaming, use the Catchy Gaming link, and check it out. Happy gaming! Or should I say happy rating? Misbehaving socially in Sims 4 impacts relationships both instantly and over time. When your Sim is mean, relationship points drop immediately, and the target Sim might even develop a bad sentiment towards your Sim, something that can influence their mood whenever they're nearby. Mischief interactions work a bit differently. Depending on the Sim, these actions can either harm or improve relationships. Some Sims secretly enjoy a little chaos, while others absolutely hate it. It really depends on their likes and dislikes. Mean interactions are usually less popular, but that's the fun of it. Eventually, if your Sim is truly committed to the dark side, you'll notice a growing list of rivals and enemies. That's the goal for any evil Sim, building grudges and enemies. Think of it like the mean version of romancing someone. Except now, instead of I love you, it's I despise you. Hooray! The perks of misbehaving socially? Plenty. Mean interactions often give your Sim fun or satisfaction moodlets, helping them fulfill their needs. So if your Sim is mean, evil, or hot-headed, these interactions aren't just fun. They're essential for keeping them happy. Even confident or self-assured Sims get a kick out of dominating a social situation. It's also a storytelling goldmine. Chaos, drama, and social dominance are all easier to create when your Sim has a knack for mischief. Some classic storytelling opportunities include romance sabotage, revenge plots against a neighbor, or just general evilness and chaos. Insulting a Sim's partner can open the door for flirting opportunities. Maybe. Embarrassing a rival might set up a long-term grudge. Really, the sky's the limit. Of course, misbehaving socially is a double-edged sword. It's perfect for evil or dramatic Sims, but it comes at a cost. Ruined friendships, failed romances, and a damaged reputation. If you're not going full villain, timing, frequency, and knowing your target's traits are key to using mean or mischief interactions effectively. Having a kleptomaniac Sim means you get to swipe items from other Sims' houses. This is a fun way to stir up drama and make simoleons. It's perfect for storytelling, and it's a super easy money-making method if this is your main hustle. You know, like being evil is the main gig. Be mindful of the cooldown. There is a cooldown for swiping items. And depending on your Sim's traits, they might even get positive moodlets from stealing. Beyond money, stealing is a storytelling goldmine. It feeds into criminal lifestyles, secret rivalries, chaotic drama, and one-sided conflicts. Of course, there are risks. You can get caught, you'll face negative social consequences, friendship points drop, negative sentiments pop up, and your Sim might get, an embarrassed moodlet. Definitely not fun. Then there's break-ins via for rent. Click on another Sim's front door to start a break-in event. Of course, you have to deal with another quick loading screen. Click the door again to actually break in. If your Sim has the klepto trait, you can swipe items while inside. But, like I said before, there's a cooldown. You can also sabotage objects or play pranks while you're in there, which makes it ideal for chaos-loving Sims. The break-in feature is mostly for snooping, though, so you can discover a secret, and if you do that, you'll find it on the Sim's profile. You can choose to confront that Sim, the Sim that you have the secret for, and let them know you know their secret, then either promise to keep it, or, better yet, blackmail them for some simoleons. Usually just 100 simoleons, but still pretty good. Honestly, break-ins aren't really about rewards, they're mostly for storytelling and mischief. As expected, getting caught during a break-in will hurt relationships and create negative moodlets, and blackmailing a sim will also cost friendship points. Breaking in will cost friendship points if caught. Yeah. Other than that, there aren't really any real drawbacks. It's more about the story you create than the game mechanics. Next up, sabotaging. Your sim can sabotage objects so they break immediately. Think of sabotaging something as a more immediate prank, because the pranks always break the toilets anyways, so yeah. The effects can be a little unpredictable. Sometimes your sim might get a positive moodlet, sometimes a negative one because they're like, dang, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Either way, it's a great way to build a chaotic narrative where your sim leaves a trail of mischief wherever they go. Just keep in mind there's another cooldown for this feature, so kinda lame. If you have the Growing Together expansion, workplace drama can also become your playground. Your sim might randomly get a workplace rival, and that rivalry can block promotions or otherwise make work stressful. But if you click on the right options while at work, your sim can sabotage that rival. This does lower their work performance, and it gives your sim a boost to their fun need, and there's even a chance the rivalry will end by the end of the day. Don't expect your rival to get fired though, and your relationship with them won't improve. Maybe it's time to take this outside of the workplace, you know what I mean, Jellybean? Overall, sabotaging is great for drama and narrative, but it doesn't really reward your sim mechanically. Like, you know, game mechanics. Doesn't really. Not at all. And there's not really any big perks, but that's kind of the point. You know, it's not like the main focus of an evil sim, it's just the cherry on top. I highly recommend playing an occult sim if you want to lean into evil or chaotic gameplay. These sims come with some serious advantage, and a few drawbacks, of course. Vampires are an obvious choice for evil sims. They naturally have that dark, evil vibe, and survival literally depends on feeding on other sims. You can force feed or bite sims, which counts as a mean or aggressive interaction, so expect negative moodlets or dropped relationships with your victims, okay? On top of that, vampires can choose powers to intimidate or manipulate others. Of course, there are the weaknesses too, which affect day-to-day life and social interactions. Spellcasters. Spellcasters are perfect for mischief magic. You can cast spells to embarrass rivals, sabotage objects risk-free, or create chaos in other ways. Just watch out, spells can backfire, and misuse can hurt relationships or reputation. Aliens bring like a little sneaky manipulation to the table. Mind control, memory wipes, and other powers let you manipulate or sabotage sims discreetly, sort of, kind of. Aliens are limited in what they can do, because Maxis has completely forgotten about them and doesn't care. And, you know, other sims can detect them, so the stealth is key. You have to choose and pick who sees you doing this. Mermaids, honestly, they're probably the least exciting for evil gameplay. Most of their interactions are water-based, and while some of them can be used against other sims, it's not nearly as versatile as vampires or spellcasters. But, you know, you got cool things like this. Now, the updated ghosts might be the most fun for chaos and evilness. They have a naturally spooky vibe, especially if you choose to select all of the ghosts to be black and white and not the colored stuff. And, you know, ghosts, they scare sims, they haunt lots or objects, they sabotage objects. There's always the risk of punishment or decreased relationships. Punishment in, you know, regards to sentiments and not real punishment. With the improved ghost skill tree, they get access to some incredible abilities for evil storytelling. The only limitation is needing other sims around to interact with, which, you know, that might be tricky if your ghost is a loner and wants to lurk alone. But also at the same time, you're doing an evil ghost. You have to be evil to someone. And then, of course, life and death will help with this sort of gameplay. It adds a lot to the vibe and to ghosts overall. Then there's fame. Not an occult, but being a famous sim with a negative reputation is a game changer. Fame and infamy together let you reach more sims, gain fans or stans, and have a bigger impact on your world. Combining an occult with fame is ridiculously fun. Evil interactions feel more rewarding, moodlets are amplified, and some evil actions can even go unpunished or celebrated. Storytelling opportunities are endless. Scandals at award shows, public fights, dramatic rivalries, you name it. Plus, you get VIP perks, exclusive events, access to private sections in lots or lots altogether. It makes you feel incredibly powerful. The flip side is that you know, Everything you do is in the public eye, which can trigger negative social interactions fast. But hey, that's what you're about. That's why you're here. This is what you're expecting. Overall, many occult powers reduce the risk of performing mean actions and work seamlessly with evil traits. This synergy not only maximizes storytelling potential, but also gives your sim strong moodlets, and it progresses the evil-focused aspirations faster. The game essentially rewards you for going down this dark path. Most occult sims can also come with weaknesses that can limit when and how they act, adding some complications to your gameplay. Whether it's a vampire terrorizing a neighborhood, a spellcaster hexing romantic rivals, or a ghost haunting their enemies, occult sims open up some of the most creative and chaotic storylines in Sims 4, and honestly, it's probably some of the most fun gameplay that I've done, especially if it's a famous sim. Now, in general, The Sims 4 does reward bad behavior in several ways. It really does help your sim indulge in mischief or complete villain-focused aspirations, giving you a sense of progress, and yes, sometimes simoleons too. Playing an evil sim allows you to fully embrace the chaotic side of the game that many players tend to avoid. The appeal in all of this is the risk. Storylines involving an evil sim are exciting precisely because there's a chance things can go wrong. That tension makes each evil act feel meaningful, and yes, like we went through, the game does encourage it to a degree. One of my favorite things to do is have a neighborhood where my main family is living, and then have a sim who I kind of play when I get bored, who is evil, and they kind of create the chaos in the neighborhood. And then when I go back to my main family, you know, they're roaming around the neighborhood doing evil stuff. Okay, now all of that said, there is room for improvement. I mean, there's lots of room for improvement for many aspects of this game, but especially for like evil gameplay. And you know, I have to be honest, there are many mods out there that can help with this sort of thing. There's many violence mods, ones where you can end another sim's life, things like that. Overall, the game does need to improve in terms of mean and mischief interactions. There should be more, there should be different ones. It should keep it kind of fresh. I also think that they should introduce a risk reward mechanic where bigger, bolder acts come with higher stakes and higher rewards. Right now, there isn't really any of that. The game rewards you by making your sim happy, fulfilling their needs, but there's no reward in the more traditional sense of one. But all of this could add a whole new layer of strategy, of evil gameplay, a different side of the game. I also think that long-term consequences for repeated evil behavior, you know, there's the tension, the enemies, but I want to see more of an escalated enemy. You know, a more dynamic NPC reaction to it. All of this would make the experience even richer, more fun, add some depth to this gameplay, especially because normally the gameplay is so happy, everyone's so friendly. I don't know. But yes, The Sims 4 does reward bad behavior in the sense of keeping your sim happy, fulfilling their needs, sometimes giving you simoleons. The main reward is your storytelling, what you do. Don't believe me? Try it out for yourself and watch your chaotic evil playthrough unfold and let me know about it. I want to know your evil storylines, okay? I want to know what your evil sims are up to. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed it and that you end up trying out an evil sim. What's the most evil thing your sims have ever done? Let me know. Until next time, stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. Bye!